Welcome back to the NFL, Jon Robinson. As Jon Robinson has been hired as a senior personnel executive for the Miami Dolphins. So John Eric Sullivan, who has been viewed at one point as the favorite for the Titans GM job last year that went to Mike Borgonzi, has taken the job in Miami, and he has hired Jon Robinson to be a senior personnel executive in Miami. And let me say this. I know you guys hate Jon Robinson. And I know Titans Twitter hates Jon Robinson. And Titans Twitter, it's very odd. It seems like everything I like, Titans Twitter hates. So Titans Twitter hated Sam Darnold. And Titans Twitter hates Jon Robinson. And Titans Twitter loves Robert Saleh. They hated Matt Nagy. And I actually think that the Titans do listen to what Twitter says, which is why the Titans suck so bad. Let me say this. If I became a general manager in the NFL, which I am not qualified for, but you know how this works. An owner says, that's my guy, and all of a sudden Brody Van Wagenen is the general manager of the New York Mets. It's crazy how that works. So if one of these owners decided Jared Stillman is my guy and offered me the job to be general manager, I would take it. And I actually think I would be a pretty good general manager for a couple of reasons. The first is I don't think I smell my own farts when it comes to my own opinion about things I don't know anything about. So when it comes to, as we talked about with Robert Saleh, that scheme fit of who's going to be the quarterback of your defense, I'm going to put you in charge of that. And you tell me what you think, and then I'll kind of funnel it through the bullshit detectors, and then I'll make a decision. But the one thing that I would do if I became general manager today is I'd hire Jon Robinson right away to be my top lieutenant. Because all the things that I don't know, he does. I first guessed a lot of his bad decisions, like the Caleb Farley one. Now, I didn't know anything about Isaiah Wilson before they drafted him. I watched the tape on Isaiah Wilson, and I actually really liked Isaiah Wilson's talent at right tackle at Georgia, but it's part of the general manager's job and the entire personnel operations job to really be able to dig out who's crazy and who's not. But when it comes to J-Rob knows ball. J-Rob knows how to build an organization. And I heard John Eric Sullivan today talk about the fact that J-Rob would be able to help him avoid some of the mistakes that he had made as a general manager, as John Eric Sullivan goes into this having never been a general manager before. And so I think this is brilliant. And I don't know what the Dolphins are going to do with Tua. I think ultimately they're going to release him and they're going to start over. And I don't know what they're going to do at quarterback. Are they going to sit back and try to take Ty Simpson? Are they going to go sign Malik Willis? Are they going to trade for Mac Jones? I don't know. But at the same time, I do know Jon Robinson won 61% of his games. And I do know that Jon Robinson never had a losing season. And I do know that Jon Robinson did hit home runs in the draft. Jack Conklin, Derrick Henry, Kevin Byard, all in the same draft. Jeffrey Simmons, A.J. Brown, Nate Davis, a starting guard in the third round. In that same draft, he was able to pick up David Long Jr., who was a great linebacker for this team. The trades for DeMarco Murray, Dennis Kelly, Ryan Tannehill, they were all good. But not every move's going to work. So he took a huge gamble on the A.J. Brown trade, and it blew up in his face. Personally, I believe that he had built up enough equity for that to not be the defining decision of his career. And instead, everybody on Twitter's decided, nope, he traded away A.J. Brown. Kansas City traded away Tyreek Hill. They have not yet replaced Tyreek Hill. The Green Bay Packers traded away Devontae Adams. And the next year, they didn't make the playoffs. Did they fire everybody? No, only here. because Twitter got mad about it, and the Titans do whatever Twitter says. It's pretty obvious how the Titans are incredibly sensitive to Twitter critiques. But that doesn't erase reality. Just like I told you guys with Sam Darnold, just because Twitter tells me Sam Darnold sucks doesn't mean that he does. And now he's a Super Bowl champion. Just because Twitter tells me J-Rob sucks does not mean that J-Rob sucks. I think J-Rob is a very bright football guy. Did he do some fucking up? Yeah, he did. But I compare that to the guy that came after him who fucked everything up. And I'd say, J-Rob wasn't really all that bad now, was he? Again, some of you people absolutely pull your pants down from Mike Borgonzi, who inherited a 3-14 team and went 3-14. J-Rob inherited a 3-13 team and went 9-7. But again, you guys, apparently the Tennessee Titans are the only organization in the history of the NFL where winning and losing doesn't matter as far as the general manager is concerned. I've never seen anybody else care like that, but apparently Tennessee is the only place, for whatever that's worth. One person says, I thought J-Rob didn't play his hand well with AJ, but I wasn't against trading AJ either at the time. AJ magically became healthy when he was traded. The truth is the Titans were nervous about giving A.J. Brown a big deal because they were nervous about A.J. Brown's knees and they were nervous about A.J. Brown's Twitter fingers. And the truth is, kind of had been a problem in Philadelphia too. Now, I know they've won a Super Bowl and they've been to another Super Bowl, and so that kind of overrides the A.J. issues, but A.J.'s absolutely an issue. They're trying to get rid of A.J. right now in Philadelphia. But again, to me, the issue wasn't trading away AJ. The issue was letting Tory Dandy, the agent for AJ Brown, really run that negotiation and not holding ground on their leverage the way San Francisco did with Deebo Samuel at the time. That I thought was a fuck up on J-Rob's part. And then the decision to draft Treylon Burks, who did have talent. But I mean, I talked to somebody in the league who said they took one look at Treylon Burks' knees, just the way his body was built, and they're like, this guy's going to be hurt all the time. And that was a problem. See, this is the shit that pisses me off. Worst trade in NFL history. It wasn't even the worst trade that offseason. The Russell Wilson to Denver was a far worse trade than the A.J. Brown trade, and the Deshaun Watson to Cleveland trade was a far worse trade than the A.J. Brown trade. Give me a break. One person says, the you people stuff is garbage. Stop throwing everyone into the same boat. Try reading the actual comments. I would say that the anti-J-Rob sentiment when it comes to Titans Twitter and even the YouTube chat on this show or all the other chats or everything else is like 85% anti-Jon Robinson, which is, again, amazing to me because this team sucked ass before Jon Robinson became the general manager. Then Jon Robinson got this team to the playoffs pretty much every year, hired the great Mike Vrabel to be your coach. His other choice was Matt LaFleur, who's been very successful in Green Bay. He drafted good players. He traded for DeMarco Murray, Ryan Tannehill, and others. And all anybody wants to talk about is Isaiah Wilson, Caleb Farley, and Treylon Burks. That's it. I mean, even right now, the number one free agent, according to NFL.com, which, by the way, I think is bullshit. But he is the number one free agent, according to NFL.com, is Malik Willis, who was drafted by, wait for it, Jon Robinson. You know what's crazy? Jon Robinson has not been the general manager of this team for 3 seasons. And their leading sacker last year and their leading receiver last year were both drafted by Jon Robinson. So, again, you guys say whatever you want. J-Rob was ass. He won 61% of his games. You made the playoffs. Your leading sacker drafted by J-Rob. Your leading receiver drafted by J-Rob. The number one free agent, according to NFL.com, drafted by J-Rob. And yet you guys think he sucked. Because the general manager who wins, you hate. And the general manager who's 3-14, you love. Somebody explain this to me. Somebody explain this to me. How can J-Rob be so bad? If he won and you made the playoffs and you went to an AFC championship game and you won the division twice in a row and you were sitting in first place in the division with a 90% chance of winning it again when he got fired, you've been absolute dog shit since the moment that's happened, and yet he sucks, but your 3-14 general manager is the man. I don't understand it. And I just think some people just don't want to believe the truth. I think some people just want to believe that, no. The Titans know what they're doing. They're only in last place all the time. But hey, our 20-36 coach, that's going to save us. Our 3-14 general manager, our quarterback who was dead last in QBR and dead last in passing grade, according to PFF, that's going to save us. But the guy who actually won, he sucks.